Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the start of another new series on my channel called The History of X Group. I decided to start this series because there were a lot of groups I wanted to discuss in my Why X Group Flopped series that didn't really fit the label, so I decided to start this series as a way to talk about them. In this series, I'll be discussing the history of groups that are pretty unique. I'll be discussing some groups that aren't necessarily flops, but that have interesting origin stories. Once again, like in my Why X Group Flop series, the goal of this series is never to make fun of or spread any rumors about a group, it's simply just to inform. And if you notice that I missed anything or got something wrong, please politely correct me in the comments below, as I never want to spread any misinformation about a group that I'm covering. But yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's just get into the video. fromis 9 is a group that was formed through the Mnet survival show Idol School. The group consists of members saerom, hayoung, yuri, jiwon, jisun, soyeon, chaeyoung, nakyoung, and jihyun. The group made their official debut on January 24th, 2018 with the lead single 2 Heart and the mini-album with the same name. They originally debuted under Stone Music Entertainment, but shortly after their debut, it was announced that they would be managed by Off the Record Entertainment. A lot of people are under the impression that fromis 9 is a quote-unquote flop group and that they're unsuccessful, but this is actually not true. Despite not having their first win yet, fromis 9 are quite popular in Korea and the general public is pretty fond of them. They ranked second among the top 5 best-selling rookie girl groups among the girl groups that had debuted between 2018 and 2019 over groups like G-Idol and ITZY, despite only having one comeback in 2019. The notion that fromis is a flop group comes from international fans, as fromis don't have as much international appeal as other rookie groups they're competing with. fromis were formed through the 2017 survival show Idol School. Idol School differed from other Mnet survival shows in the sense that not only was Idol School like an actual school where the contestants would be trained in singing, dancing, and other aspects of being an idol, but the only contestants allowed to compete on the show were those who weren't signed to any label. The show's goal was to form a 9-membered group. After 13 episodes, the final lineup of the group was confirmed, with member Jisun ranking number 1 overall. Many viewers of Idol School were unhappy with the final lineup for fromis 9. Some even went as far to accuse the show of being rigged and demanded that Mnet release the real votes for all of the trainees who participated on the show. Prior to their official debut, the group released their pre-debut single, Glass Shoes. This was poorly received, and the music video for the release has a lot of dislikes. Many accused the group of being a group based solely on visuals and not on talent. However, despite the controversy around the lineup, the final lineup was confirmed, and the group would be training temporarily under Pledis'd Entertainment prior to their debut. On January 8, 2018, it was announced that fromis 9 would be making their official debut, and their debut mini-album 2 Heart was released on January 24th. Their debut saw reasonable success, peaking at number 24 on Gaon album charts and selling over 22,000 copies. Only a few months later, it was announced that Gyuri was confirmed as a contestant on another Mnet survival show, Produce 48. This shocked and confused fans, as having Gyuri compete on Produce 48 made no sense. While there was a chance that Gyuri would receive a lot of publicity from competing on Produce 48, there were 3 major problems. Number 1, fromis had just made their debut less than 4 months ago. It was way too soon for their company to be sending them off to survival shows. fromis needed to solidify themselves as a whole unit before worrying about the individual members' solo activities. Having one of their members participate on a survival show so shortly after the group made their debut made them look inconsistent and weak. Number 2, if Gyuri made it into the final lineup of Produce 48, what would happen to fromis 9? The goal of Produce 48 was to create a 12-membered girl group that would promote for 2.5 years, meaning that if Yuri made it into the final lineup, she would promote in the group until mid-2021, not participating in any of fromis 9's comebacks or schedules for nearly 3 years. By the time she would return, fromis would have likely established themselves as an 8-membered group, and despite Yuri being a part of the original lineup, she would have been treated like a new addition to the group by fans. And finally, number 3. fromis were formed through Idol School, an Mnet survival show. It didn't make any sense for one of their members to compete on another survival show again. What was their label trying to do? It didn't make any sense. However, while Gyuri was competing on Produce 48, fromis continued as an 8-membered group. They had their first official comeback titled DK and their second mini-album, Today. This comeback also saw reasonable success, once again peaking at number 4 on the Gaon album charts and selling over 20,000 copies. On episode 11 of Produce 48, Gyuri was eliminated, ranking 25th on the show. Soon after, she returned to fromis. Later, on September 21st, it was announced that fromis would from then on be managed by Off the Record Entertainment, a label established by Stone Entertainment specifically for managing fromis 9 and the Produce 48 group iZwan. To celebrate Gyeori's return to the group, fromis made their first comeback with Gyeori with the release of their single album From 9 and the lead single Love Bomb on October 10th. The album debuted at number 3 on Gaon album charts and sold over 36,000 copies. It was also the comeback that started to garner them more international popularity, as the Love Bomb music video was their most viewed yet at 18 million views. After the release of Love Bomb, things began to go south for the group. By now, fans had gotten used to waiting no more than 5 months tops for a comeback from fromis. As 2019 began to pass, fans began to worry. Where was fromis 9? However, this break in comparison to other groups was mild. Despite there being no news of a comeback, fromis were being active on all of their social media accounts. They were constantly on VLive, interacting with and updating their fans. But still, it was unusual for there to be such a long period of rest between comebacks. Looking back at old VLives, it seems like there was supposed to be a comeback sometime in February, but it was rumored that it was postponed for some reason. Their entertainment company never addressed these rumors. Then finally, at the 8-month mark, fans' prayers were answered. fromis came back with their second single album, Fun Factory, and their lead single, Fun. After promotions for the lead single finished, they continued promotions for the album by performing the B-side Love Rum Pum Pum on music shows. This was easily fromis 9's most successful comeback by far. Fun Factory peaked at number 2 on Gaon album charts, making it their highest charting album. The album sold over 60,000 copies, making it their best-selling album. This comeback was so successful for fromis 9 that the group ranked number 13 for most girl group albums sold in 2019. This comeback was so well received by the general public that fans were sure that their next comeback would be sooner rather than later. Now, I'm sure you all know about the Mnet voter scandal, but I'll go over it again briefly just to refresh your memory. During July of 2019, many viewers of the Mnet survival show Produce X 101 began to suspect that the votes were being manipulated. Only a month later, almost 300 viewers filed a lawsuit against Mnet for manipulation of the votes on the show. This lawsuit prompted an investigation by the Korean police into the matter. During the investigation, police found sufficient evidence that the lineup for the show's group, X1, was not consistent with who the viewers had voted for. Originally, the police had stated that they would only be investigating Produce X 101. However, they later altered their original statement and said that they would be investigating multiple Mnet survival shows, including Idol School. While nothing had been confirmed yet, many former trainees of Idol School have come forward and revealed shocking details about the reality of Idol School. In October of 2019, Lee Hae-in, a former trainee of Idol School, was interviewed by PD Note, an investigative journalism program, about the truth behind Idol School. Hae-in alleges that the show was rigged from the very start. At the very beginning, Idol School held an open audition in which more than 3,000 girls attended in hopes of getting a chance to be on the show. Hae-in claims that these auditions were completely fake and that the trainees who were selected to be on the show had already been chosen by the producers of Idol School, and that none of the girls who ended up participating on the show actually had to audition. Hae-in stated that she didn't need to go to the open audition, but was later told to attend to make her participation in the show seem more authentic. Another trainee anonymously came forward that same month and alleges that out of the 9 members of the final lineup for fromis 9, 8 of them had already signed a contract with CJ, E&M prior to the confirmation for the lineup. I want to be clear that as of right now, these are just rumors. None of this has been confirmed by the police investigating Idol School. I just felt it necessary to include the allegations that were being made. Despite the investigation into Idol School being announced a couple of months earlier, the effects of the investigation didn't start to affect the group until around November. From then on, fromis 9 began to go completely silent. The members were no longer active on their social media. They stopped VLive updates completely. It became clear that all of the updates being made on their accounts were coming from management and not the girls themselves. Worry only began to increase as the members' birthdays began to pass. Between November and February, Jisun, Gyeori, saerom, and Soyeon's birthdays all passed. Previously, the members would go on VLive on their birthdays to chat with fans. However, though the company did post videos on the members' birthdays, these lives were pre-recorded and there was never an actual post from the members on the group's other social media. Fans were extremely worried. By February, it had been 4 months since fromis 9's last official schedule. Fans had not seen the 9 girls together in months, and off the record wasn't giving any explanations. It's widely believed, and it's likely true, that fromis halted activities due to the investigation. However, the company made no effort to announce fromis 9's hiatus and have yet to give any details about what will happen to the group. Their second anniversary passed with the company only posting a picture to the group's Instagram, Twitter, and fan cafe, and nothing else. On February 10th, the members finally returned to social media, which was a relief to fans. However, as of right now, the members returned to their social media account, and the creation of a Japanese Twitter for the group has been the only good things to happen so far. There has been no confirmation of when fromis will come back or what will happen to the group, and as of the making of this video, it has been 10 months since fromis 9 have had a comeback. If you're a Flover, or if you're just somebody who feels bad for fromis 9 because of the Mnet voter scandal, I strongly urge you to look deeper into fromis 9's mistreatment and to spread the word around. fromis 9 should not have to suffer for the actions of the producers of Idol School, and they can use all of the support that they can get right now. But yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoyed this new series. Comment below some groups you'd like me to discuss in my next video. But yeah, that's all for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!